I'm stowing away here and it is hot as shit. My balls are dripping. My undies are soaked. But hopefully to cool us off, we have the Temporal Forces booster box. I don't even know if this will be worth opening. It probably will be because this has some pretty good value in this set. If we don't pull anything good in this product, I will rip my dick.
I must say, this newfound eloquence suits you well. I wonder, who did you learn it from?
I think the heat is really getting to me, making me cranky, but you know what wasn't cranky? PAX. PAX East was a really fun time. Very happy to be there. But before I get into that, MSRP time. Temporal Forces booster box, you're looking at $119.99, $108.99, maybe $99.99, maybe $169.99. It's basically whatever you can get this for, you can get it for, I guess. It's going to be around the hundreds, the early 100s, and it's kind of all over the place. I think I was able to pull this for about $112, so not a bad price anymore. As long as you aren't spending $160, you basically won. That's all I could tell you. But getting into this big black white opening, what is this? Oh, there you are. Apparently this is like the Pokemon to get. From my understanding, Verizon Wireless, whatever the hell this Pokemon is basically like a $300 alt art card or some shit. Like, pretty ridiculous. But you know what was ridiculous? Our trip to PAX. So it was about a 5.5 hour drive. Wasn't a bad drive. It started definitely getting to us like towards the end of the drive, but it actually wasn't bad. We had to stop off to pick up one person like an hour away, and me and him, I would say we became decent friends, good buddies. You know, I said some things to start off the conversation in an interesting way. He'll know what that means, I guess, if he ever watches this. Probably not, but basically, we had a fun time in the car, and I think it was like an hour and a half in. We're driving on the highway, and bro is like not even paying attention to the speed, and we get pulled over. Fucking a cop comes out, like it's like a state trooper just sitting on the side of the highway. And I knew we were gonna get pulled over. I saw how fast he was going. I look in the like rear view mirror and I see him pull out, and I'm like, oh my god, we're fucked. It's over. And he gets us. Thankfully, for some reason, gives him like the nicest ticket in the world. Because I could have swore that like if you got pulled over for speeding, you get like awakening drum. You'd get an awakening drum if you got pulled over for speeding. Oh my god, that's gorgeous. I don't think that's the most expensive of these, but it might actually have some good value to it. And we got Roaring Moon. I always thought that when you got pulled over for speeding, you would get points, but crazy enough, the guy didn't give him any points. And I remember when I first got pulled over for speeding, I was so fucking pissed. And the guy gave me 2 points on my license, insurance went up, all that. Bro just had to pay like $150. So, I don't know. He got away pretty well, I think. He was a little bit pissed, but, you know, besides that, like, roadblock, the trip was going all right. Like, we were going smoothly. I think we hit the nice, like, Chick-fil-A in fucking some state that apparently was, like, full of just wealthy white people. And then we're almost at PAX. Now, granted, we took 2 vehicles. I was in a vehicle with 2 others, and I think the other vehicle that my buddy Matt was in had like 3 more. So it was like 7 of us, if I'm doing the math correctly. And or maybe 6, because I think the one flew. Anyways, he gets to the hotel first. He beats us by like a good hour or like 40 minutes, because we took a lot of stops, had to do some Pokemon pack openings, Explorer guidance. That's a pretty cool holo. But we got the Bronzor Illustrator Rare, looking at himself in the mirror, checking him out, rizzing himself up. And basically, we get a call from my buddy Matt, and he's like, we have to pay for parking. Now, flashback maybe 2 weeks prior to this trip, I gave the hotel a call. This was a very, like, special hotel. It was a really shitty hotel in, like, Section 8. I don't know. But basically, it had, like, a special deal with PAX that if you got this room, you basically got free parking and free transportation to PAX. That's what it offered. And believe it or not, they lied. I even gave them a call. I called them, I asked, and they told me over the phone that it came with that. Because I wanted to double check. We're taking 2 cars. I wanted to make sure that we got 2 free parking spots. Because we got 2 rooms. And they fucking lied. So it was $60 a night, $180 for 2 cars, well, 1 car each. So we each had to drop like $60 on parking, which really fucking sucked. So now my boy, you know, just got a fucking ticket, now has to pay an extra $60 for parking. We're not done yet. Basically, they tell us, oh, and there's no free transportation to PAX. So now we gotta fucking get there ourselves. I was so pissed off. Everyone in that car was pissed. Danny was gonna fucking just kill us, drive us off the side of the road. I could feel it. And, oh my god, it was very fuming. So it was like, whatever. Alright, so we get there. We just dealt with it. It is what it is. We get to the hotel. It was a little bit nicer than I expected, but I really was hoping that our hotel rooms were going to be together. Well, they weren't. And I think they kind of fucked up because I think they gave us the wrong hotel room, because once we got into the room, like not even 5 minutes later, we hear like someone trying to get into our fucking room. And it was like a whole family. We got Salvatore, my man, balling out. That is, oh my god, that was actually a dope fucking suit. I might have to like cosplay as Salvador now. Not going blackface though. So the whole time we're thinking, oh my god, they're just gonna give our room to like every fucking person in the hotel. We're gonna get mugged. We're gonna get robbed. Why would we get mugged? I don't know. Maybe when we're leaving the hotel, we were going to get mugged. I don't know. But anyways, the night was still young. This was basically a Thursday. So there was plenty of stuff we could still do. So we decided to go into the city. Man, oh my god. It was fucking cold as shit. Freezing. Windy. Definitely the windy city, even though it really wasn't. But at least the nickname was. It was fucking windy. And it was like really difficult just trying to go anywhere. But really cool going into the heart of Boston. A lot of cool sights. I think it got to the point where, you know, we were hungry, so we were looking at restaurants, and unfortunately the restaurant that I wanted to go to was like a fucking fine dining, like tuxedo suit. And then the other one that I wanted to go to, what is this? A giraffe? It looks like it has the cone on its head. Like, you know when you get, like, your dog gets, like, an operation, they put, like, the cone on their head? I don't know. Really, really cool car. Probably only $1, though. Other bar that I wanted to go to was kind of, like, sleazy looking. Basically just filled with a lot of people. Didn't seem like a sit-down, like... It advertised itself like a sports bar that had, like, tables and shit, but, like, no one was even sitting at the tables. It was like everyone was standing, and it just felt like kind of Like, I'm not a big bar guy, so it's just one of those things that's like, it's too crowded. I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's go. So, as we're walking, a sign of, like, heaven just appears, of a light just shining down Margaritaville. In the heart of Boston, there's a Margaritaville, and I have never been to Margaritaville, but I watched a YouTuber go to every single Margaritaville in the United States, and that was a really good video. So I was like, let's go to Margaritaville, and we all did. And I did not realize how fucking expensive that place was, and the food wasn't even good. Like, it was like average food, very expensive, and maybe that was because it was like the city. But honestly, I think it's just because that's Margaritaville. Like, that's just how they normally price their shit. Like, a burger was like fucking $22 when a normal burger at like any place is like around like 12, 14, $15. if you live in California, like $100. But it was just really just shocking how expensive it was. And I felt bad for this, our like waitress. Basically, it was like 8 of us, and our poor waitress, I was like, yeah, can you do separate checks? And she was already on edge of, like, just being upset. Had probably a long day. And then this fucking group of, like, over 20 people, 20 kids, high school kids, came in and got a table. And, oh my god, when I tell you, I felt so bad for this bitch. Like, I think she was about to just up the Margaritaville. I don't know. She looked at us, and I was like, dear God, help you. I felt really bad for her, but she toughed it out like a trooper. We got our food, and we definitely tried to give her like the best tip we could. And then we had to end the night at the Sacred Slide, where I guess a cop just went like 90 miles an hour down a slide. That was the destination of the night, and then it was closed. So we couldn't go down the slide. It would have been like a funny clip, but unfortunately they had it like taped off, so there's really nothing I could do. And I think my buddy Danny tried to go up there and just get in through it anyways, but it's fucking locked. Like, who puts a lock on a slide? I don't know. And then we tried going back, and our lovely navigator fucking just couldn't figure out how to like get us back to the hotel, so we were freezing for quite a while. But I will say he did a better job than I could have. Going into Friday was our first day at PAX, so it was a really, really fun experience. Very big, but not as like active, I guess, as the first time we went back in like 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. It was still in the same convention center as always, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. A lot of Pokemon cards I was really surprised of, so I just basically dropped like all my money on Pokemon cards. But besides that, I think we actually, weirdly enough, we saw like everything by like lunchtime. We literally walked the whole like center, and we're talking like the middle of it where all like the games and the shops are. We didn't go really around to see like any events or talks, or what do you call those, like with the auditoriums and shit. The best like famous person there that had like a panel was like fucking Matt Pat from Game Theorist, and he was there on a Thursday, like, and that was it. Like, who the fuck goes to PAX on a Thursday? He had me ticked. But there really just wasn't anything great there. No good like autographs or anything, so that kind of sucked. But, you know, we basically saw everything within, like, the first, like, couple of hours. And then we ended up splitting up. Like, half the people wanted to go get food, and, you know, I wanted to stay in there with a couple other people. Because I'm, like, thinking in my head, like, listen, I paid to go here. I'm gonna stay here the whole fucking time until they have to kick me out. Like, it was, like, an $80 ticket. Like, pretty ridiculous. And we got Meltan committing suicide. Oh, it turns into a mail medal. Okay. Yes, we did actually get this card in another product, so not bad, not bad. Then, sadly, we had a big fight at, later that night at the hotel. Really, really stupid shit happened. Basically, in a nutshell, my buddy Matt was a retard. I know he's gonna hate that, but oh my god, it was just so stupid. We got Koraidon EX, like, this was him. He was like fucking yapping 24/7. Basically, we wanted to play board games and drink. They got the beer, and they're upstairs, right? Because we're separated by floors. We're downstairs, they're upstairs, and god, there's a lot of packs back there. They didn't want to bring the beer down, and we didn't want to go up. I had to bring a bunch of board games up there, and we ordered food. Apparently the two guys that had left, they were still hungry, so they ordered Taco Bell. And we're still waiting on food, so we physically couldn't leave because they were bringing the food to our room. Actually, well, one guy just fucking left the shit downstairs in the lobby. We got the Hero's Cape. I didn't think we could get another one of these. Oh, that is so cool. And Wismakat. So instead, you know, we're just constantly arguing over the phone, refusing to budge. You know, they were complaining, like, oh, we don't want to bring the beer down, this, that, and the other thing. And it was just very, very fucking annoying. And just nobody would budge. And then like, oh, we already started a game. It's like, great, man. Like, literally, like, I think, was it like maybe an hour and a half had passed when we could have been doing like something as a group. But everyone was just so fucking stubborn, including me, that we just didn't do shit. And it was just so bad. And really, really, like, fucking ruined the night. Like, so thank God we all, like, forgave and forget the next day. Because next day was fucking popping. It was also raining, which kind of sucked. But we all dressed up in cosplay. Yeah, we're fucking nerdy like that. Mutter Maine. That is the dumbest who the fuck? I have never felt like so popular in my life. I couldn't tell you how many fucking people like came up to us asking for photos because of like our costumes. And I was hitting like a pose every 5 seconds. It was just nuts. I got so many photos. It was like the time of my life. Now I kind of understand why people like actually cosplay, because it was so freaking cool. Definitely want to do that more often and go to events and cosplay. I mean, I will say it's like a very, like, it's weird. It has the cringy people, has the cool people. Like, we came across a baddie in like skin tight Spider-Man costume wanting to take a photo with us. She was a cool person. And oh my god, it was such a fun time. The poor buddy who dressed up as Law from like One Piece didn't get any attention. I felt kind of bad, but we dressed up as JoJo characters at a gaming convention, and we got I got hassled by 2 people. They weren't like talking at me or telling me because they're pussies, but basically like as we were walking, like I could hear it from behind. It's like get it's a gaming convention, but why the fuck are they dressed as anime characters? We got the Iron Crown EX. Are we guaranteed a, like, 2 gold star? I wonder. Because we have yet to hit anything like that, and I'm kind of scared that we might not. It was an interesting day. Funny enough, I actually, like, got fooled twice in a weird way. Not really fooled, I guess, but kind of. We decided that this is going to sound, like, really just stupid, but we're like, oh, we gotta take pictures with, like, hot anime girls.
Cool. Hey, baby. Are you one of the ones who, like, does it? Yeah, keep them coming.
So that was the game we played. And because I, like, bought, like, a bunch of Makima shit, like, clothing, they're like, oh, you gotta find a Makima, like, cosplayer. And I fucking did. And I got my big balls by the hand. I went up to her and I asked her for a photo. And you know what she said? Fuck off. No, she didn't. She said, yeah, sure. And we took a photo. And then I looked at the photo.
Holy fish paste! It's a guy!
Turns out that was a guy. I didn't know. But... and then, funny enough, later that night, we go to a bar. And a girl notices my cosplay. Is like, Mr. Joe Stir, and I already did this bit in the other video, and that was a guy as well. So definitely pushed my luck on multiple dudes that night. Oh my god, the bar. We went to an after PAX party at a bar, and that shit, it was an interesting night because it really fucked me mentally in the beginning. Basically, we're driving there. We took a taxi, and we're all dressed up. Except, I'm the only one that looks wild. Like, everyone else is kind of covered up. The one dude didn't wear anything. The other just wore a fucking jacket. He was like a cyberpunk character, just wearing a normal brown jacket. So, like, if you didn't know what the shit on his jacket was, you wouldn't even know he was cosplaying. And then, it was me dressing up as Part 6 Jotaro, in the fucking, like, snakeskin pants and shit, looking fabulous. Never want to do that again. And then my buddy dressing up as Mista, except he had a hoodie. So he really couldn't even tell besides his, like, red pants. And we're driving there in the taxi, and then I hear, like, I'm in shotgun or whatever, because that's where I always get forced to be. and I start hearing laughing. And then I start like listening in, and they're saying that like nobody's there is dressed up. And I got really fucking pissed because like I'm the only one that stands out. So I'm like, Matt, I swear to God, if no one is dressed there, I'm gonna just fucking leave. Like I was getting really worried. And then we go to the door, we walk in, dead quiet. Everyone, there's like a lot of people there, everyone looking right at me. Everything just fucking stops. I fucking Zawaldo in the bar, and everyone just looks at me, and we start walking in, and oh my God, I just felt like I could see everyone smiling, laughing. Like, it felt so embarrassing. I've never felt more embarrassed in my life. And I go to my buddy Matt, and I'm like, Matt, like, what the fuck? Like, I was gonna, like, fucking throw a fit. We got the Litton illustrator card. You can barely see him. He's right there. That's kind of an interesting illustration rare. I was gonna flip shit. Like, just, oh my God. Like, I was gonna curse him out so bad. And then he goes, I don't understand why you're so upset. I was gonna kill this kid right in the bar, in the middle of all these people. I don't give a shit. They're gonna see this flaming Cheeto killing this fucking dude in a brown jacket. I don't care if that was the last fucking thing they saw. I told him, I was like, listen, you don't know what it feels like right now because I'm the only fuck dressed like a weirdo in front of all these random people, and they're all looking at me. Like, you don't know what it feels like, so you cannot say, why are you upset? And he was like, oh, don't worry, you know, we're in, because I guess we came in at 8 o'clock, which is when it starts. So, oh, you know, don't worry, it's just beginning, there'll be more people. And thank God, 15 minutes go by, finally, fucking people start showing up. But it was like the worst 15 minutes of my life. Like, I was just like, I was ready to throw hands with everybody. It was just so bad. I felt so embarrassed. I was ready to just call a cab and just go back. And oh my God. So I stayed. And it was a really cool bar. There was like ping pong tables. Really, really dope. And it really just, oh my God. That night went so weird. I tried like, you know, flirting with the another Iron Leaves EX. Okay. I tried flirting with a Officer Jenny, but I ended up calling her Nurse Joy, like a dumbass. I wonder how I could fuck that up. And yeah, that was the night. And apparently I snore. I never knew I snore until that trip. Basically, they were just like, after night one, they're like, yeah, you fucking snore. And I was like, no way! This, that, and the other thing. Like, my parents never told me I snored. I got my tonsils removed, so I always thought, like, you know, okay, that cured my snoring, right? And then I, you know, once I came home and I asked my parents, they're like, yeah, you snore all the time. Like, who the fuck? No one told me that? Like, now my chances of, like, actually, like, finding a mate is so, like, down the gutter, because no one wants to sleep with someone who snores. You know, it's like as bad as sleeping with a murderer. Like, it just, oh my God. Anyways, we're down to our last pack. We still have not gotten an alt art or anything regarding 2 gold stars. I'm actually really scared because I don't think we're gonna get anything here. But yeah, that was the trip. And then you know, Sunday we got back, forced them to go to Texas Roadhouse, where you always should go. And that was the trip. So we got the Diosian, the Heatmer, and a wow, this hollow is strong. If you want this code card, here it is, because I'm just gonna chuck this shit out. Here are our hits. Unfortunately, wasn't really a good mystery box. Booster box, what the fuck am I talking about? Only 2 illustration cards. That's really, like, depressing. And then just a bunch of EXs. Like, that was a really bad one. Well, now that I'm done speaking my mind, as always, thank you for watching. I just talked about packs. I didn't know what I could talk about in a fucking long-ass video like this, so I talked about my trip. And, you know, I will be doing the vlogs eventually at some point, probably in a year or 2. I don't know. But man, this This is a tough set. I don't know if you guys have a hard time pulling shit from Temporal Forces, but man, I was not expecting this booster box to be this shitty. I mean, I always kind of expect an illustration, like an alt art card. So maybe that's just me having high hopes. But man, this was fucking rough. Like, really rough. So, yikes. Do you think you could flee the country? I just had like a long like text talk with my uncle about fleeing the fucking country. Whatever country you live in. Apparently he thinks like you have 100% chance of getting robbed, killed, or raped or some shit. And I'm like, bro, people do that like every day in the hundreds. Like, people migrate all the time, illegally. So, you know, and like, they're always, you know, people in rough situations, they gotta do what they gotta do for their family. I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, but people do it. And, like, they go through hardship. It's not an easy thing to fucking, like, migrate countries. But he was like, yeah, you're gonna die. And then that got me heated. And then somehow this went to a conversation about picking up cougars at a bar. I don't know where cougars reside, but apparently he says they're everywhere. Like, I don't know where you guys are from, but you can't pick up any bitches in Pennsylvania.